That was a good practice for us. We made improvement today, good intensity, good enthusiasm. I thought our execution was much better, and it was a step in the right direction. So.
You are evaluating now and obviously looking at guys you think, but
yeah, absolutely.
Does it start resonating more when the pads go on?
I think so. Yeah, and tomorrow we'll put the shoulder pads on, so you'll start to see a little bit more, and then we'll wear the shoulder pads with not full gear for 2 days, then we'll go full gear the 5th day. But
but that's when you really start.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what? I don't want to discount anything that anybody's doing in particular, but there's a lot of guys that I've seen through my career that have looked really good in underwear, and then that's what they call it. Hey, underwear All-American and all that. But when you put the pads on, it kind of differentiates things for you. So that's what we're kind of excited. But still, I'm excited about their enthusiasm, their intensity, their focus. I thought today it was hotter than yesterday, and I thought the tempo was a lot better. I thought we were more crisp, more focused, and still obviously a long ways to go, but it was a step in the right direction.
5 degrees.
Was it 5 degrees warmer? Yeah, and it's going to get hotter, but we'll start to adapt to it.
What was the fact of the little chippiness out there? Is that good, do you think, for the football team?
At times, unless it becomes a distraction, a habit, or deters from your practice, or carries over, into situations in games where you can't keep your cool.
Did any of those seem to fall into that category?
Close. We'll talk about it later tonight. It's really tough for a coach because you want that intensity. You want that passion. You want them going after it and competing like heck, but they've got to know when to stop. And that's part of training camp, is learning where those barriers are. And so I watch that stuff very, very closely. Because I don't want us to do things that are going to hurt us in games. And we'll keep evaluating and keep our eye on it. And hopefully we can, maintain our focus and maintain some discipline.
Being out here, though, doesn't that kind of promote that, though? You guys are here for 2 weeks. You're not going anywhere. You're going to get tired of seeing each other.
Well, I know that it was funny. I was reading Bill Belichick's quotes the other day, and they had some fights in the Patriots camp, and he said, hey, that happens as part of training camp, and that's kind of been my history as well. But then the next day, he'd kind of had enough. They fight, another barn burner, and he made him run. And so that's kind of coaching, finding that right mixture of intensity and being able to keep your cool when you're facing the guy 14 days in a row, and you're sick of him, and his moves, and you want to hit somebody else, and that's just part of ball. So.
An update on the injured guys. I know there's a bunch more that went down today.
Not really any updates right now. No, I'll get with Anthony later on, and he'll tell me what's going on.
Coach, you talk about Brett Hundley and the kind of progress he's made and you've seen.
I've only been watching Brett since the start of spring, and so there's probably some of these guys are probably better answering that question than me. But I just think that in the what have we had? Would we have 15 practices in spring, and we've had 2 here, 17 practices. I've seen him. He's just matured. He's more focused. He seems a lot more in control. Has a greater grasp of the offense. He's a much more accurate thrower than I imagined him being, or that I'd heard he would be. So I think all those things are really positive.
You want to take it from there?
You take it from there.
What will make you decide on the guy who's going to lead your team offensively?
You're asking some tough ones today.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's your job. I think a lot of things. First of all, I think that it'll just be, somewhat of a feeling, that we get as a staff, that this is the right guy. But that feeling will come from, what we see on this practice field in terms of, leadership ability, decision making, how his the teammates respond to him. The ability to throw the ball with accuracy, timing, and velocity, and yet still have touch. The ability to extend plays and make good decisions when those plays are extended, things like that. And really ultimately it's not who looks the prettiest, but it's who moves the team down the field and puts points on the board for you.
Is that feeling on the borderline of a decision?
No, I wouldn't say so yet. No, I wouldn't say so. Maybe for you, but not for me yet. I know where you're going all the time with that one.
I think you should start Mark Sanchez.
Is that it?
The freshman?
Yeah.
Paul Perkins looked like he's standing out.
Yeah, I like I said yesterday, I hate to be an instant evaluator, but I think it's okay to talk about a couple of those guys after 2 practices. Let's just defer anything, set in stone until we get the pads on for a few days. But like you mentioned, Paul Perkins, looks good. Fabian Moreau looks good. I think the 3 young receivers, Jordan Payton, Javon Williams, and Kenny Walker look good. I think Devin Fuller is going to be a really good quarterback. He's got a nice, short, compact delivery. You know, he gets the ball out quick. He's very smooth athletically. You know, he's only 2 days in. He's behind all those other guys who have been here playing quarterback. Even though Ellis hasn't done anything, I like the way he looks moving around. Simon Goins looks like he improved in just 1 day. Carl Hewlick improved in just 1 day. I've been very pleased after, you know, once again, let's just temper this with 2 practices. Randall Goforth competing, Taylor Legacy competing. You know, I don't want to leave anyone out, but Ish. You know, Ishmael Adams has done some good things at the nickel. He's been running with the first nickel group some, and he's done some good things. So, you know, after 2 days, it looks like you know, what we thought in terms of the type of recruiting class it was. But boy, you know, just remember it's only 2 practices. So I'll get you injury updates as we go. Kenny Walker, he broke his pinky, but you know, he had a little cast on when we came out. He took it off and just did the buddy wrap, and he's fine. We held Cassius and Eric just because they cramped up pretty bad last night, and they both kind of have a history of that. You know, Cassius is just, his body has changed so much. I mean, he's a 285-pound guy with 12% body fat. You know, so you're going to get in this environment as you're starting to adapt and sometimes have some of those heat-related problems. But I think that both of those guys will be fine.
And Willis, he looked like he was.
Yeah, you know, he got a little dehydrated. Okay. You know, so we're going to be extra careful with that. You saw I gave him a break, made him get in the shade, and we have to monitor that. You know, heat-related illness is something we have to keep an eye on at all times. We can never take our eye off that ball, or somebody, you know, gets sick, and so we're going to err on the side of caution. And but we're getting good work done, so I'm happy.
4A too, huh?
Yeah, Joe got a little lightheaded. You know, I think as those guys as they adapt, you know, to this environment, you know, we'll move through it.
Sure.
I kind of expected we'd have some issues early. So, okay, all right, yep, all right, thanks.